Ponch and John are back to ruin your childhood. Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Reviews by Josh. My name is Josh Terry, and as you can see, I am not alone this week. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Mike Chidsey, and I've seen the movie Chips.
Yeah, and I didn't see the movie Chips. I wound up seeing Power Rangers, and yeah, look at that video. You saw Chips.
I did see Chips.
And since I did not see Chips, and since you did see Chips, here we are, we, plural, to talk about Chips.
Yes, and I feel very bad that you haven't seen Chips. I know Chips was near
Are you
and dear
sure?
to your heart.
The TV show was. I get the feeling, let's just let them. You might remember if you watched the other videos, I was pretty psyched to hear that they were going to do a Chips reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. I did have my suspicions though, and from what I'm hearing, the suspicions were kind of confirmed. This is not your mama's Chips.
No, it is not. And it didn't really hold true that much to the story of Chips.
Yeah.
It actually starts out in Miami, Florida, rather than California. Michael Pena's character is an undercover FBI agent, and he is busting from within the inside, he is busting a bank robbery. And it's kind of a fun action scene. And after that, he is assigned to find some dirty cops within the California Highway.
Yep, that's the
Patrol.
CH. Yep.
Where's the I come from?
I don't know, but I did hear that, because in the TV show it was a lowercase I. That was to show you that it wasn't really like a legitimate I, that it was just in there for the acronym. But this one, I think it's an uppercase I. So
Thank heavens for that.
I'm really into Chips.
So Michael Pena comes from Miami as an undercover as an FBI agent, undercover to find the dirty cops within Chips.
Okay.
Dax Shepard is a retired, kind of forced into retirement due to multiple injuries, extremes bike Travis Pastrana type guy.
Okay.
And we started off, we meet him as he is taking his test from Police Academy to make it into the California Highway Patrol, which he failed miserably. He failed every area. He couldn't shoot anything. He couldn't do the obstacle course due to all of his multiple injuries that he's had. He has still bones and knee replacements and everything, and he's having to take pain meds the entire time to get through it. And he failed the written course, but he was amazing on a motorcycle, and so they let him become a motorcycle cop on probation. And the whole reason he wants to become a motorcycle police officer is to impress his wife. He's in a failing marriage, which is a little bit funny because his wife in the movie is his wife in real life, Christen Bell. Now, if you're a Dax Shepard fan or a Christen Bell fan, and you don't mind filthy jokes, you're going to love this. I think there were actually more inside jokes to their marriage and their relationship. There was a car chase to the song Toto. The two of them had a Toto viral video when they went to Africa with the Africa song. They talked about marriage counseling a lot, and the two in real life openly talk about how marriage counseling helps them in their day-to-day life as movie stars. And so I think they were many more inside jokes that I will never understand because I don't follow them on a day-to-day basis as well as every true fan of film
Probably as
should.
much as you should.
Yes,
yeah,
it's true.
Right. So basically, it sounds like it had like nothing to do with the TV show.
There are motorcycles, and
I
there
stand
are
corrected.
police officers.
They are.
And they, amidst all of the filthy jokes, they are trying to solve a crime, which they might do. You'll have to see the film.
Fascinating. So it also sounds like this is the latest, and I think you and I were actually talking about this, but I'm going to say it like we're saying it for the first time. It sounds like this is kind of the latest installment in the 21 Jump Street. What other one? Because I mean, they're basically taking old shows from the 70s and the 80s rebooting them, but they're not really interested in the source material. They're just kind of using the source material as an excuse to do wee jokes.
Exactly. So if you were a fan of the rebooted 21 Jump Street series, you'll probably be a fan of this.
Mm-hmm.
If
you're a fan of the show, you probably won't.
Probably not, but I don't think it's trying to appeal to,
Yeah.
to those masses.
Well, so what's next then? So this is a trend. What would be the greatest 1980s shows to bring back and then completely ignore the source material? I'm springing this on you. I thought about this while we were taping. I thought, oh, this is a good idea. I'm just going to spring it on. I should probably tell you that, Jitsi is not a homeless person. He is actually usually the guy who's on the other side of the camera. Would it be insulting to say that you were my producer?
No, I'd be honored to be your producer.
Or, because we're colleagues,
Yes.
But
I think Different Strokes. I
Different
really
Strokes,
hope
that would
they
be the
bring
TV show?
A Different Strokes reboot. I don't know if they can. I just want to hear the theme song
for
again.
a comedy, actually, I can see. That's not a bad idea. If they were gonna turn that into a similar comedy, the idea of having kind of like an old white guy who suddenly adopts two young, especially if it was like Dave Chappelle.
If you like this idea, please comment in the section below, and if we get
give
enough
us credit
comments,
for it.
We'll go to some Hollywood producers, but we need some credit. We need to say, oh, 3 of our viewers really thought this was a good idea. So if 3 or 4 of you could comment on that idea, please
Sign
do.
the online petition. So how many stars did you give Chips?
So honestly, I went into it kind of knowing what it was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think if you go into it knowing that it is a filthy comedy that will probably not stay true to the original story, I think you'll enjoy it. I think if you go in with those expectations, I give it 3 stars.
As a fan of the TV show, though.
As a fan of the TV
a little
show,
bit
you'd probably
less.
give
A
it
little bit less.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I sound like really unnaturally devoted to this TV show. Where it's like I did watch other shows as a kid. It wasn't just Ponch and John.
So Chips is rated R, and it's a hard rated R for language, comical violence, and comical nudity, and comical sexual situations.
Well, thanks as always for joining us here at Movie Reviews by Josh. Be sure to subscribe on your way out and keep the notifications on because
that's really important to do.
Yes, it is.
You can know the moment that we have something ready to put out.
The very moment. And we'd also like to thank our friends at Rockagator for their fine products and fine support of our YouTube ventures. See ya.